It's Thursday night. All ye critters, come join us. It's time to continue our flight. There is magic and mystery from darkness. Our friendship will rise. But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight. Oh, get ready. It's Thursday night.
Last we left off, Bell's Hells are recovering from their encounter with Odahan Thule, the deadly legend of the peaks, who seems intent on this strange psychic connection with Imogen. Tore through your group, killing 2 of you and mortally wounding Laudna before being pushed away by some sort of unleashed force within Imogen. You managed to recover Fern and Orem, but Laudna remained dead and beyond your abilities. You called the airship to bring you back to Drusar, where you turned in Armand Treshy for quite a bounty. You traded information with Lord Eshtaros and prepared for what coming dangers might come to anyone involved in this circumstance. You also reached out to your champion, Keyleth, the voice of the Tempest, back from Zephyra, who is, amongst her own challenging chaos, found a moment to come and aid you, traveling through a tree within the city of Drusar and guiding you all to a destination of your choosing, being the Taldorian city of Whitestone.
What?
As the doorway opens in the trunk of this tree, you look past into this neighborhood as you all step through, emerging from where you once were across Exandria to instead this city in the center of the Parchwood. As one by one you all emerge from the trunk, you immediately see the wreath of golden leaves, green turning to yellow above you. You can see the massive trunk behind you, this incredible example of a tree, larger than any that you've encountered in just general width and majesty. The hundreds of branches tangle upward where you can hear the dozens of birds that have made their homes up in its boughs above, the leaves occasionally falling and drifting past you. Beyond the rooftops of the center of this town, you can see the various tall pine trees that make up the Parchwood peeking past, and beyond them, the Alabaster Stairs themselves, this massive, rocky mountain barrier that contains the northeastern and western sides of this valley. And there beyond that, on a hill, or beyond the city itself, cresting just beyond where the edge of the city itself lies, you can see the towering shadow of the Castle Whitestone looming above.
I did spring break in Whitestone about 3. It'll come to me.
I think this is the furthest I've been anywhere. Wow. Yep, this is...
Is this the tree?
Yeah. Shit.
Laudna's tree?
I think so. I mean, she said it was a giant one in the middle of town.
This is the one.
As you progress, kind of falling in line behind both Orem and the voice of the Tempest, Keyleth eventually kind of looks over her shoulder. So, what do you all do? Say you're adventurers.
Yeah, I mean, we all have different, come from different walks of life. I myself am a master craftsman, Jenny Pocapi, C-Pop Industries.
I've learned a decent amount of what you sent me to learn, but I wouldn't have done it without any of them.
Thank you for your help in this. She kind of breathes heavy for a second, kind of lost in thought, and continues walking towards the castle. As you approach the exterior of the castle walls, you can see the rising towers, the beautiful flashes of the interior garden of the main courtyard, and the guards begin to open the gates to lead you all in to the interior courtyard of the castle itself. Stepping inward, you see a new type of guard begin to approach. The helmets begin to give way instead to darker stained leathers with cloaks over his shoulder. Keyleth raises a hand and steps towards the front of the stairs and speaks. I, voice of the Tempest, am here representing some friends who are requesting an audience with any members of the chamber that are present. One of the guards steps forward. This man, he has kind of a shaggy blonde hair, looks about in his 40s or so. Lady Cassandra is still meeting in Lyrengorn. I do believe the Lord is in.
The Lord is in, motherfuckers.
You continue up the stairs to a secondary floor, and then turn right to a large set of double, kind of dark, brown-red colored wooden doors with iron clasps across, and what looks to be large iron rings to pull it open. The captain knocks. Lord de Rolo. Yes, Captain Kynan?
Kynan.
It's Kynan.
The captain is Kynan.
Kynan, Leora.
I have guests who wish to speak with you at the behest of Lady Keyleth, who is also here. At this point, he looks back, and Keyleth is actually fallen back in the hallway, and she's kind of staring off for a second. Fern, fresh-cut grass, and Orem. You can hear Keyleth kind of looking off into the distance and saying, Of course. Yes, no, I understand. I'll be there as soon as possible. She looks back to the rest of you. My apologies. I have other business I have to attend to shortly, but I'll walk you into the Lord's chamber, and they should be able to take care of you from here.
It won't be you
Just
helping with...
Unfortunately, there's a lot going on right now. And kind of glances around at the rest of you. We are a month out from Apogee Solstice, which means many different forces are working towards goals, altruistic and nefarious.
We haven't even told you everything we found out.
You hear on the other side of the doorway. Very well, let them in. The captain kind of gives a nudge. Just a moment.
Everything about Odahan, everything about the solstice,
It's a lot.
everything about the moon.
Just give her the abbreviated version. Maybe it'll ring a bell.
There's a city on the moon. There's a cage over the moon. There's forces in Marquet that are trying to, I don't know, break it free.
Arcane
Does that sound-
cage.
Yeah.
About right. There are writings that have been found in Vasselheim about the nature of the moon. If it is a moon, it's a lot.
And about people who were born under that moon.
I suppose I'll put that on the pile.
Oh, Tempest. One last favor.
She's pushing the door open into the room to give you an entrance.
If you see my family, or the next time you see Lito, would you just tell them I miss them?
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course. The door opens. You look into what looks to be a large meeting chamber, a dual set of stained glass windows on the opposite side of the room that together form the outer shape of what would be a singular sun tree, and the autumn colors give the chamber, what sunlight's coming through, this sort of sepia yellow tint to everything in the center of that wall, elevated. To kind of break up the somewhat beautiful, cheerful color, you see hanging a single dark leather mask with two round lenses over the eyes and a long, curved, bird-like beak that just sort of sits and looms about 7 or so feet above on the wall, looking over the interior of the office.
okay.
Standing beyond the desk, facing away from you, looking up at the mask, you see the back of a somewhat, we'll say, bedhead unkept kind of white hair. A dark blue and gray robe that, like a day coat that hangs past the back of the knees. The figure turns around and you can see the bespectacled face, the somewhat unshaven, kind of rough-looking beard of a person who's been busy and not really keeping to their more refined and well-kept exterior. The door closes behind you as you step in, and Keyleth kind of looks up. Lord Percival, I have to take my leave, unfortunately, but I just wanted to ensure that you were aware that these individuals, whatever they need, whatever they ask of you, it comes from the will of Zephyr as well. Percival kind of looks.
And that will be taken under consideration.
Of course. And she just turns and exits the room.
Well, welcome. I am Lord Percival Friederichs von Musil-Koloski de Rolo III, Architect of Enlightened Progress of the Chamber of Whitestone. Who are you and what do you need?
Lord de Rolo, we're the Bell's Hells. I wouldn't expect you to remember me from your visits to Zephyr, but it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance again. My name is Orem of the Arishari. And these are my friends. And we're bringing a citizen of Whitestone home for aid.
He's like stepping up to the chair, and you can see him holding a cane in his left hand, kind of as he steps over to the chair. And as the doors close from where Keyleth was leaving, suddenly Percival, as you say that, looks past you and goes,
Darling, I told you not to do that.
and behind you, you can glance and see slipping into the door what looks to be a young girl in a pale blue dress, deep red skin, and these horns that curl up from the middle of the head through dark hair, holding what looks to be a small doll in one arm. And goes,
Sorry, Father. I was just curious who these strangers were with Keyleth.
kind of smiles for a second. Well, at the very least, I would wish that you have a seat in the corner and read a book or something. Maybe you'll learn something. Pay attention. You see him smile. This kind of hard, honestly intimidating exterior melting away for a moment with a bit of warmth. At this point, he kind of looks over to the rest of you. Hardens once more.
You were saying, returning something.
I'm fairly certain that you know our fallen friend we've brought to you today. She hails from this village. You've encountered her before.
He was there as well.
Yes. Should we just...
She,
I'm just gonna put her down.
The tree in the center of town?
And I'm gonna just start pulling the might as well just get to it.
Well, she had...
And, yeah. So I'm...
She was brought to a dinner by,
She's unwrapped.
by a woman named Delilah.
You see, like, the left eye twitch a bit at the mention of the name. He reaches up and pulls the glasses off his head for a second, sets them on the desk. Yes?
Hung from that tree in the center of town.
As you kind of pull back and reveal the still cold body of Laudna, he just kind of looks forward and inspects her in silence.
And the strange thing, Lord de Rolo, knowing a good bit of the history within these walls, is that we've been traveling with her for the past few weeks.
It's, years for me.
She's a lovely woman, and I can't explain it. But here we are.
It's interesting how these things come together, yes? I'm truly sorry for your friend. I've lost much in my life, both family and ally, to the cruelty of others. And I appreciate you bringing her home to rest.
No, not to rest. Her life was ended by a very evil woman, Odaham Thul.
An enemy of Zephyra. And all good folk.
We were
Laudna.
told you had the ability, you had some connection, something that could bring her back.
I do not have such an ability. What you ask is certainly no easy task. Death is a certainty of all mortal life, and such powerful magics are rare, costly, and sometimes push against the order of fate itself. Now, why should we undertake such a trial for your friend when so many others fall and are surrendered to dust? Respectfully.
I think Lord Rolo, because Laudna is a bloom of goodness that has grown out of a history of darkness that deserves to be nourished and grow.
This is a matter that I do not think I should have the power to make a decision on, as I am not the one able to grant this boon. You'll have to speak with the one who can. Walk with me downstairs. Captain! The door opens. Yes, Lord Percival? I know it's early. Wake her up if it is, but if you could please summon Pike Trickfoot to the castle.
We're going there too, are we?
And right at this time, the doors open, and you see a number of guards walk in. The guards with the leather outfits and chest plates. You can see the rifles in their back, and they all start pushing in. And as they do, you see a pair of half-elven teenagers wearing hunting gear start pushing in. And as they both rush up, a third figure steps through. Another half-elven woman, looks about in her 30s or so. You can see her dark hair is pulled back, and there is a black feather behind her ear. Oh. Well, at the very least, children, go ahead and get ready for your tutor. Be here in the next hour. I'm going to go ahead and tell Simon to go ahead and make 2 less desserts for dinner, please. Oh, Percy, darling, I did not realize we had company. She takes her bow off. I'm terribly sorry. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Smiley day to you.
Hi.
We're Bell's Hells. We were brought here by the Tempest. The voice of the Tempest.
I'm one of the...
Keyleth here.
She was. Just missed her. She's
Shit.
she's off. She said she was off to Asilra or something.
Well, regardless, Bell's Hells, a pleasure to meet you. I am Lady Vexolia de Rolo, Baroness of the First House of Whitestone, and the mistress, great mistress of the Greyhound.
So many nobles.
Grand mistress, technically. And I was like, no, I said it wrong. So you were the ones who sent Bertrand. You're friends of Bertrand's.
Bell's Hells,
That's
after
why.
all.
Bell,
The Bell's Hells.
he's the Bell in Bell's Hells.
Goodness.
Was.
Why are you so tense, darling? They're friends. I know they're friends. They've just come with quite a request.
We were just explaining to Lord Rolo, lady, we've brought home a daughter of Whitestone. One of yours. A very special one of yours.
We need returned.
Yeah, she's not being brought back to rest.
No.
Well, now I think I understand exactly what the ask is. That is an ask. Have you Yes, I've reached out to Pike. Well, good. Hopefully she can sort this out. I'm going to go get changed. I'm a sweaty mess, and I feel awful that this was our first meeting, given... It's been a pleasure. You better be getting ready, and she heads up the stairs after the two younger half-elves.
Orm tugs on Imogen's sleeve and looks up at her and says, "You can see the resemblance."
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Between who and what?
She was the woman that Laudna was.
No.
She's very beautiful.
A few semi-awkward moments pass of waiting here in the chamber, clearing throats, bit of conversation. Lord Percival just seems stoic, and one by one, reading you from tip to toe. And he looks out, and you can see kind of like jogging up the pathway that leads to the castle. A couple guards trying to keep up. You see a short gnomish woman of white hair that's kind of pulled back into a messy bun that's kind of falling apart as she runs, and bits of it are kind of tangled behind, wearing this like bright yellow sun blouse that kind of drifts into a white apron. And she's a little chubby around the face and these kind of meaty arms as she kind of charges up quickly. And she yells, "Percy! Percy!" And you see the Lord kind of, "Yes, Pike?" "Yes, I'm sorry to pull you away from your morning goods, but these individuals have come at the behest of Lady Keyleth. They seek the restoration of a fallen friend." She was, "Oh, okay.
So casual.
As you begin arriving, Pike, you see like pulls from the blouse a chain that dangles, and there at the base of it, you see what looks to be a golden symbol that resembles these like flaming angelic wings.
What's that?
I have a friend who's also a god, and this is what I used to talk to.
How many people know gods in this town?
You all just talk to gods.
Have you talked to
over here.
gods too?
That's a long time ago. I'm just a baker now.
Wait,
A baker that can bring someone back to life.
Well, I didn't make any promises. And at this point now, she looks down and, "Oh no, this poor thing." And she kind of kneels down next to her and kind of like brushes the hair out of Laudna's face.
She looked like that before she died.
Yeah. This is her.
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
A little weird, but
Killed once before.
takes all kinds.
She was. Were you at the? She died in the tree, and then she was brought back.
Lord Percival goes, "She was on the sun tree, Pike." Oh. And you hear a voice from the stairs above. "Oh." You see, just having stepped down the spiral staircase to the left where she had previously vanished, Lady Vexalia, kind of frozen, looking down. "Percy, was this...
It was you. She was you.
She quickly steps down the staircase next to Pike and kind of hangs down. Looks back up at Percy. "We have to help them. We did this to her."
You
did. Well, we're the reason she was on that tree to begin with. Darling, She stands up, looks down. "Pike, can you..." Pike goes, I don't know. How long has she been gone? There's windows of time.
6 days.
6, 7 days.
6 days, 6 days, okay.
And I cast a spell on her to sort of keep her body, pure.
Okay.
And that's after walking around for decades.
They all kind of exchanges an odd look.
But just so you know what you're working with here, she was different from some of us.
Sure, when she came back to life, she was not quite alive, not quite dead.
Pike kind of looks up at Vexalia, and you hear Lord Percival go, seems her corruption endures. You go ahead and close the doors behind. The dim interior of the chamber now, with as much light as has been there for a while, seems even darker in this moment. Pike now holding this a little further, begins reciting some words, whispering to herself a bit. It's been a while. Right, okay. We're good, don't worry, I totally have this. It's all fine. You hear the heavy footsteps as Vex rushes in. Pike, my dear, here. Hands her, looks to be a cluster of 4 diamonds of different sizes. They're affixed to other pieces of jewelry. And she takes them, she speaks an incantation. The ground and the sigil around Laudna immediately lights up in this bright, vibrant golden hue. The entire chamber now is just alight with sparkles and energies. And Pike now closes her eyes once more, clutches her holy symbol, and now muttering under her breath, opens her eyes once more, and where you once saw pupils, you now see a bright golden light to match the color of the sigils, just beaming from her face. She begins to speak, she begins to mutter, and you can see she reaches out and places her other hand on the chest of Laudna's cold body. I can feel her soul. It's adrift. Not yet beyond our reach. That's good. There's something else here. There's something... I'm trying to reach for her, but it's holding her back. I can't...
Is it Delilah?
Percy? And she pulls her hand back, and all the light vanishes. Laudna hits the ground, and you watch as Pike kind of sits back a bit, her hand still out in front. Percy? There's 2 souls bound to this body, and I can't separate them. Not like this. Percy steps forward. 2 souls? Yeah. And one of them is Delilah Briarwood. As these words leave Pike's lips, Lord Percival clicks his cane onto the ground. Then it is done. She is to remain gone.
No.
What do you mean?
That's not how this works.
That's exactly how this works. Do you have any idea, any possible notion of what creature you would possibly be unleashing?
No.
Then you are one of the lucky few.
What do you mean their souls are bound?
Pike goes, it feels... It's odd. They're both connected to each other in a way, and to the body. When you call a spirit back to the body, you have to reach out to the spirit and be like, "Hey, come back!" And then it's like, "Okay," or "No, I'm good." And I can't even talk to your friend because Delilah's there.
Can you talk to Delilah?
I'm not going to talk to Delilah. Are you kidding me? We're done with her. We're well. And Vex at this point goes, Percy, look, we have to try something. There has to be a way we can do something, right?
You said you're friends with the gods. There's got to be something you can do.
If I finish the ritual, I don't know which one of them is going to come back. At which point Percival goes, there is no way we are bringing Delilah back into this world. Look, I'm sorry for the loss of your friend. I'm certain she was a wonderful woman. We've all lost wonderful people. But whatever joy or smile she would bring back would be far outweighed by the death, the destruction, the torture, and upheaval that Delilah would bring should she return. I will not stand here and allow this. I will not, in my home, in my city, bring Delilah back, and that is final.
She's been back. She's been back this whole time.
He starts walking away.
What if we could end her for good?
Then do so, without my aid. And he continues to walk away.
Please, Pike, there's got to be some way we can...
I don't... There might be some scriptures and practices of the Everlight that there are rites that revolve around possession, spiritual tethering, exorcism. It's not my specialty. I don't know. I could go look. Darling, please. At least let them try something. Anything. She looks down and kind of like cradles Laudna's head in her hand and looks at her and kind of runs her finger along the ear cuff that forms the pointed elven ear. I mean, we both have some fault in this, don't we? Lord Rolo stops his exit. Doesn't look back. Just clutching the top of his cane. Then tell me if you find a way that is satisfactory, but do nothing without my approval. Delilah stays gone. And he leaves.
These scriptures or whatever, are they at your bakery?
No, I wouldn't. Why would I keep them at a bakery?
I don't know. That's where you go every day. It just seems like.
Well, that's a valid point. No, I don't. Let me check at my house. Vex, you want to come? Come.
To your house?
Yeah, or wait here. I guess.
Take your. Go to your house.
Yeah, there's no rush.
I'm going to follow Percy. I'm not satisfied with the ending of that conversation yet.
The issue with life is sometimes you have to deal with unsatisfactory ends.
I have lost fucking everything. Everybody. I have had a lifetime of bad hits, problems, lost people, promises fucking broken, people died. It is the background of my daily life. I have died. This is madness up here. This is not something that just fucking happens. This is what happens when the universe really doesn't like you and decides it wants to keep you around for a little while longer. At least that's what I used to fucking think. And then I met these fucking people. And life changed. The world got weird, and there is weird shit happening out there, and suddenly I'm feeling very small in a very big world, as opposed to very small in a very small world, which is where I'm usually so fucking comfortable. But it got really big out there, and for some strange fucking reason, that body down there, as fucked and as corrupted as it may be, and it is, believe me, seems to be a part of this. So hope and joy and love and all of that shit, I don't give a fuck. That is not what I'm down there for. I'm down there for because it's important and it's necessary, and I have lost so many people. And I am not here begging for fucking any of them. Many I've known longer than her. This is not about that. This is important.
The world is vast. The threads of fate tug in ways you do not understand sometimes. Don't lose that anger. But the urge to destroy can be a very powerful one.
I'm not sunsetting the possibility here. But there must be a certainty. Because if you all bring her back into this world, and Delilah walks once more, I will send you all to the same place I will send her. To protect my family. To protect my city. So, you're a small fish in a big, big pond. Make some waves. He walks back up the stairs.
Turn around. Enjoy your fucking castle.
There's nothing you could offer I would want. The rest of you, following the brisk jog of Pike Trickfoot.
I noticed that Ashton is not with us. I'm going to turn around and wave him down.
Yeah, at this point, like you kind of glance behind, you can see the shape of Ashton now kind of catching up at the top of the castle walkway. So you manage to gather up, eventually coming to the northwestern side of the city. The building itself is covered in ivy and flowers with vibrant reds and kind of tan colors of the paint of the walls kind of poking through in places. It looks a very homey space. And as Pike gets out her keys, opens the door and kind of leads you all inside.
Thank you, Lady Rolo, for helping us in this. I know that your husband wasn't quite so enthusiastic.
He's a complicated man. And you're here on the behest of Keyleth, which carries a lot of weight in this city. And I apologize for his brusqueness. There is a lot of trauma. A lot of trauma that we've all suffered at the hands of Delilah.
She's an evil woman. Laudna always complained about her in her head and stuff.
Whatever happens, whatever occurs here, and I hope for the better outcome, I really do. Nothing's worse than losing someone very close to you. And she just can't take her eyes off Laudna. Like there is a strong focus, and you can see this kind of like weight on Lady Vexalia as she looks at her. Pike comes around the corner with like 2 books under her arm and looks like a thing of scrolls. Goes, okay, so hold on. It goes over and sets him on a table and skirts it over on the middle of the floor. Okay, so there are some rituals. It's an older one that kind of enables a spirit journey to another realm. I think I can direct it to wherever I felt Delilah holding your friend. But I need you all to go there as part of this spell and separate them long enough for me to bring her back.
Got it. Let's do it.
Your bodies will remain here, but your spirits will be put in the same place where your friend's spirit is.
Oh. Could it become permanent for us as well?
Well, she looks down and starts reading the scroll again, like, if you were to, let's say, die or fall unconscious there, your spirit will be brought back to your body.
Okay.
Which is good. If something has sufficient enough magic to try and send you back here, then you'll go back to your body. So that's good. Fine print. There is a cord that connects your spirit to your body while you're there. So protect it, because I think if something cuts the cord, then you actually die. So protect it.
Will Laudna be there? Will we be able to talk to her there? Her spirit will be there.
Her spirit will be there. I don't.
what I felt was Delilah holding her back.
But I have one question for FCG.
I can't go.
Sure you can.
Why can't you go?
I don't have a spirit.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Well, now there's only one way to
Make a
find
bet?
out.
Want to make a bet?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I will say is Delilah wasn't protecting her or getting in the way, just there, making sure that she was present. In fact, why I withdrew was because Delilah was the first to reach out. I think she wants to come back.
Yeah.
So,
She said she was fading, that the only way she could come back was through Laudna.
I may have a small, no promises, chance of banishing Delilah from the spell. Maybe for good?
Great.
And Vexalia immediately sits up and goes, then we're doing this. If you can banish Delilah and she's gone, then yes.
If I go down, FCG, you have to go.
What do you mean if you go
If I
down?
went unconscious or something, and when we were able to separate Delilah, I wouldn't be able to tell Pike that it happened.
Oh, shit.
I don't know if I can.
I think you'll be there.
Would you be able to tell if he has a soul or a spirit or anything like that, or?
I mean, yeah. Want me to check?
You can just check?
It's kind of my specialty. Was my specialty.
This is what we offered.
As a baker?
Yes.
Bakery
We gotta go to this
sounds
bakery. I know, we
amazing.
gotta go to the bakery.
She closes her eyes, and you feel this, like, wave of something come over you, and then suddenly, there is just light burning around you. There is this inferno of silver white light that is just blurring everything in the space around you, shifting and moving. And you look around, and there in front of you, you see the same kind of shape as Pike, but she is herself a burning silver ember of light. You see just the flames rising off of her, and this like set of fiery wings that just kind of drift in place, where her eyes are as just this glowing cavalcade of color and white light. And you see the symbol still there resting in the middle of her chest as she clutches it. And she looks and leans into you. Can you see me?
Is that you? The same?
Yeah.
I can see you.
Can you see you?
I'll look down at my hands.
You look down and you see your arms, the shape of them, but it's just kind of like this unique, strange, semi-translucent light, like this, not as bright as hers necessarily, but present, this kind of fuzzy sparkle. As you kind of turn your hands over in front of you, you can see them like shifting and moving, almost like electrical pulses, but not electricity, not arcane. It's hard to explain. You just feel warm.
What does it mean?
It means you're alive. And from the look of it, you already have eyes on you. And she points down to your chest, and you see the coin sitting in the space of your chest with the face of the Changebringer on it. You're brought back into the room.
So it's true. He has a spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to. If I have a spirit, that means I have to live.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunate, but true.
It's the idea.
I've watched all of you and so many others for so long. It seems kind of hard.
You've kind of already been doing it.
But to like find a purpose and find people to depend on, and and not disappoint and stuff. And that's a lot of...
I don't understand. What's the difference between now and yesterday?
Well, now it matters.
It always mattered.
Okay. Everyone ready? Everyone good? Everyone
God.
prepared?
We're just
Everyone
doing
set?
this
I'm
right
gonna go ahead and...
Straight
I
up.
mean, I have an hour to go here, so, just buckle up and sit around. I just need y'all to lie down.
We do have, I don't know if it even matters anymore, but I pull out the gnarl rock shard. We had pieces of this. I had a piece of this, and Delilah seemed to really want it. I don't know if you want it.
Pike reaches out and touches things. I'll look into it. Thank you.
I don't know.
Okay, I need each of you to lie down. Kind of in a feet outward, heads in, as the flames of the lanterns begin to dim slightly. With everyone in place, she grasps her holy symbol and begins to mutter, begins to pray. With that, these little symbols, these little almost crescent moon or scythe-like curves in some of these sigils begin to glow, and it leads into the next, like 6 different locations within this massive expanse. This pattern begin to share a current, and it alights the next chain and the next chain until the entire room begins to glow from underneath. And as you're looking at the pattern on the ceiling, you watch it just rocket away from you as shadow just fills your periphery. You can be able to move your neck, and you look down and you see your body, you see your form, you see your equipment, you see your clothing, but it all kind of has this odd golden silver shimmer to it. And at that moment, you watch as the rest of your friends all touch down around you. The circle of the 6, all standing in this space, all built of the same silver gold material. And all of you, above your head, like a puppet held by a single thread, a gossamer cord that lifts about a foot off of your head before it just sort of vanishes into the ether. You kind of see this deep umber shadow around you, but the fog rolls away a little further than where you landed. And as it does, about 50, 60, 70 feet, it begins to drift, and you see the rocky terrain that reveals itself, bits of gravel and broken dark gray stone, like the color has been seeped from the environment around you. You take a few steps and you watch the fog roll away from you and kind of reveal a little bit further. A few minutes of traveling in what seems to be this continuously repeating landscape before you, you begin to notice, because you are very perceptive, the landscape beginning to shift, growing more jagged, more small points and little rock formations begin to apparate and pass you by as you continue to step forward. Then some of them begin to grow branches as you pass them. The whispers are getting slowly louder. There she is. Get her. You continue to push forward, and you're now walking through what looks to be a colorless, pale forest. Petrified or mimicked by stone, you can't tell. You can see a shape rising up from the middle of the trees. It's a structure. It's like a small cabin or a larger hut. It is a built structure here in the middle of the woods, and that flicker you see is through a window. You carefully begin to step through the foul forest that surrounds you, heading towards this structure. As you do, you hear the whispers getting louder. Hit her! She's here! Where? Gather them up! Burn it down! Witch is here!
I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts.
As you step closer and closer, you see this is... The stone rises up to mimic what looks to be, indeed, a small cabin. It seems like it's pulled together with ropes and thin branches and bits of fallen trees and bark and whatever sort of materials are around it. It is a ramshackle shack.
I will take a breath and go invisible.
Alrighty.
And I will try to my elven boots.
Okay.
Quietly get a look in.
Glancing within, there is a few boxes. It looks to be like a cot. There is a small table and a stool. And there on the table you see a few tools, also made of the stone. Looks like a pair of scissors or like a little knife. You see what looks to be the body of a rat.
Mm-hmm.
And you see kind of on the stool this kind of shadow shape, this almost like a black flame that's kind of barely holding there, kind of flickering in and out of existence. That you look for a moment, it almost has a humanoid shape to it. You don't feel like she's there, but you almost make out the shape of Laudna sitting in this shack, making something on the table. In the same moment, you see deep within this dark, flickering black flame that is this Laudna-like shape that's kind of whipping in and out of your vision. You see this small purple light that just kind of sits in the chest. The whispers get louder. There she is! Kill the witch! Burn her! Burn her down! And you see the flickering black flame kind of and vanish.
The flickering black form vanishes?
Yeah, it disappears.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And the fire begins to catch up from the fireplace. And curling up, somehow the stone cabin is beginning to burn. At this moment, Orem, you watch, drifting out of the shaded spaces between the trees. God, your passive perception is stupid. 3 black, billowing collections of dark matter or cloth kind of emerge and drift a few feet above the ground and begin to...
Remember that shouting doesn't do shit, so I tug on your sleeve immediately and say, we're in trouble, alert the others.
I need everyone to roll initiative.
Right. No blood.
Why are you rolling well now? I was talking to Rolo.
Trees right there.
We're here.
So, top of this round, watching Chetney vanish in the front of this cabin, uncertain where he is, suddenly the light begins to get brighter on this cabin, which I will connotate as a flame now burning on the inside.
Up one wall?
Yep. There's 3 shadows emerge from the ground and all begin to drift in towards the cabin. Imogen, you're up first. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna rub my hands together, close my eyes, and then shoot both my hands out and twin spells Witch Bolt at 2nd level at both of them.
Are both of these up here?
Yeah. in front
Okay.
of us.
So as you release both, these like arcing, glowing kind of energy bursts kind of shoot out at a large arc and slam into both of them. As it hits, you watch the tattered material kind of unfold, and behind it you see this red kind of tooth mouth go in your direction.
Hello.
And you're now holding these 2 tethers to them, these little threads that are kind of flickering as you're connected. Finishing your turn, Imogen, that brings us up to Chetney
Where?
with Ashton on deck.
Looking around the room, is there anything that immediately screams like personal possession of Laudna's?
Looking at the table, you see what looks to be the dead rat, and you see what looks to be like a small bird-like skull amongst other bones on the table.
I scoop them all up.
Okay.
I put them in my satchel and I head out.
Okay. That's 5, 10, 15, 20. Ashton, you're up.
I'm holding my attack for the just trying to draw one in at this point.
You got it. Okay. That finishes your turn?
Yeah.
All right. This one here, let's go ahead and drift over. It's kind of immaterial. As it drifts past, you go ahead and take yours 2 strikes.
Mm-hmm.
So you wham, wham, strike it twice. And its immaterial form you seem as you swing towards it, there's a little part that's like, shit, this thing isn't even take any hit from this. Yeah. But your magical hammer lights as you impact it, and it still hits something oddly solid. As you do, it seems to take the full brunt of your attack. Its flickering material whips around, and darkness begins to apparate from it as it goes ahead and creates a tormenting shadow.
Tormenting shadow.
Both Imogen and Ashton, everything around you just goes into cold, freezing cold black shadow.
Do we see them anymore?
You do not see them. This like weird dome of magical darkness just apparates from it and encompasses both of them before it moves back here. And you already use your reaction, so you don't get attack of opportunity. This one here, it's going to drift over.
No.
Fern on this side.
Someone tell them we're not the witch.
And is going to go ahead and attack you with a life drain.
Life. Oh.
That is going to be 15?
No.
15 misses. It comes forth, and you don't see any limbs on it. And then out of nowhere, this arm reaches out for you with its clawed fingers. And you just slap it out of the way. And kind of like...
No.
This one here drifts up to where you are, FCG.
I'm alive!
And the same thing, another hand kind of reaches out towards you. 23 points of necrotic damage.
Oh!
FCG, when it did strike and claw you and draw your essence, it did seem to restore some of the capability of the creature that struck you.
Had it been hit before?
Yeah, I had fucking...
That brings us to Ashton. Ashton.
Let's go, Barbarian.
Okay.
Fuck that guy in particular right over there. So I'm going to head straight towards the guy that Orem's engaging.
Destroy him.
Let's go run toward him.
Get rid of him.
Barbara.
Before he can do anything.
Orem, shields up.
Barbara.
And I'm going to take a swing and see if I can get the ball right in the center to squish on the shield. I'm just going to try and fucking pancake that.
Okay, go ahead and make your attacks.
15 points of damage.
15 points of damage.
Crush it, kill it, and
15 more points of damage.
How do you want to do this?
Finally, I want to just take a little bit of rolly at the angle.
Rollies.
Right. You've got the shield down. I'm just going to get that ball right between the hammer and the shield, and we're just going to crack it like a fucking egg.
Oh, cool.
You slam that center of its weird whipping form and find where the magical power of your hammer finds that solid nature of its body. And you push it against the shield, and with that form, it splatters like an overripe fruit. And as it does, all the tethers of weird black fabrics kind of dissipate and then get picked up by wind and scattered past the dark fog in the distance.
Yep.
Now it brings us to their turn. So this one here is going to turn around towards where you are.
Oh no,
He's bigger than
Chetney.
Yes.
Oh no, Chetney.
And you watch as the materials kind of like begin to spiral in place, and then out of the dark hole, claw reaches out towards you.
Ow!
You take 18 points of necrotic damage.
Oh,
It regains
I'm visible
18
again.
points.
No, but there's a hole of blackness between us.
Don't use that as an excuse.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Okay, Constitution saving throw. 4.
4.
Oh, thank God.
So how much damage did you take? You took
18 points.
18. Your maximum hit points also are now reduced by 18.
Damn!
As it tears a sizable part of your spirit from you and devours it. And you watch as Chetney's light dims. Just a little bit.
Oh no.
Just a little bit.
And then it's going to sink beneath the ground and vanish.
Oh great.
That brings us to Chetney.
I'll move forward 15 feet towards the outside of that scarkle.
Right there. Okay.
And I'll hold 2 slashing attacks with my chisels, but I'll use my bonus action to draw it across my hand and get a little going.
You got it. Okay. Finishing your go. It is now their turn. Top of their turn, since they are both in a solid object, they do both take a little bit of damage.
Oh.
Ooh, that's good.
This one will appear right about here. Since you are the three are gathered in that one space. This one here is going to appear right behind you, Chetney.
Shadows.
You appeared, so I could take 2 swipes at him.
You do indeed. So as it emerges, you strike it twice, and it angrily lashes out at you. The claw cuts into you once more.
No.
Damn it. Doing a life drain damage of...
I'm gonna absorb half of this.
20 points of necrotic damage.
Whoa! I'll take 10.
All right, so you take 10 and you take 10. You need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Add a D4 to
and
that
I need you to
Constitution
make a
saving throw.
Constitution saving
Sure.
throw.
You do not.
You add a D4 to it.
Yeah, you don't get to. But
I don't get to add. Concentration or Constitution?
Constitution.
9.
18.
18, that's a success. So you're fine. You have 9.
9.
Your maximum hit point is reduced by 10.
Maximum
Hit points are reduced
Are
by
reduced by 10?
Correct.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And then
Oh, damn.
so shift back through the building
Just
over
run
to you.
away from it.
Okay, so finishing that go, Fern,
Okay, let's do Ice Knife again at
that guy over there.
that guy over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, check.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll 2d6 full damage.
Swirly one with arms.
6.
There we go. How do you want to do this? Yeah! Just crossed over into its damage threshold.
Oh, amazing. Okay, I'm gonna shoot out the Ice Knife, and I want it to just go right between one of his eyes.
Does he have eyes?
You haven't seen any eyes,
Or
but for this instance,
in the middle of his face.
for this I'll say,
What's that face?
as it's peering back and the flames are glowing on this hut next to it, and you see its shape kind of pulling back. It's heavily damaged, and as it does, you see the teeth moving through, and you see what looks like a yellow glow, like an eye moving through, and that's your moment. As the ice knife sinks into it, the cloth almost whips back like it's retracting from the gravity, the physics are being pushed back, and as it does, the tethers almost freeze in place. All of this ice just bursts out. These jagged like dagger crystals just jut out from the middle of its form. As it does, it falls to the ground and then shatters into 1,000 pieces.
Do any of the ice shards calm down some of the fire near the hut?
Roll a d20.
15.
15. The shards stick into the side of the hut. This flame is extinguished.
Nice.
Imogen, you're up.
I am going to prep Dissonant Whispers and hold it until I see that motherfucker come out of the ground.
You got it. All right, hold Dissonant Whispers. Ashton, you're up.
I'm holding my action to hit whatever the hit or hit or react.
Okay, it pops out of the ground about here.
It instantly gets hit with Dissonant Whisper.
Indeed. So was that saving throw?
Ears. You fucked with her in life, you're not gonna fuck with her in death too.
Okay. And so as a wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
Natural 19.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on!
Does it take you half damage? Most saves on spells, it's usually a half
Half damage, yes, so that's 3d6.
Come on.
5 points.
5 points of damage. As it emerges. And just darts forward towards you.
Hey, look who's nearby now.
Yep.
Excellent. I will take my 2 hits.
Go for it.
12.
12 misses.
Oh my god.
Darts beneath the weapon.
On the other hand, the 19 plus 9, 28.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Bang!
Ooh. 16 points of damage.
How do you want to do?
As I'm waiting and I'm holding and having that weird red-blue vibrate where it's getting more and more to a red shift and more to a blue, as it comes in close, it's almost as if I swing back to hit it and there's this little blue line and it suddenly fades and I'm already at the other end of it and it's just gone.
Cool.
That's
There's not
awesome.
even a movement.
It kind of stands there for a second, almost like you had missed it, and everyone kind of thinks this attack actually missed before. It just scatters to 2 different sides, like it was ripped in half, and you see half of its whipping cloth-like, burial shroud material just shoot off in 2 different directions, like it just got completely ripped in twine, and it kind of dissipates.
And I
into
pop back
ash.
and it's like I never even swung.
Dope. Dope.
Shit.
That hurt a lot. It's on fire. Do we care? Anybody got anything to put out a fire with?
That's the end of the combat, technically, but the flames are spreading and consuming.
Let's
Idea.
fix
You have an
this.
idea? Fern has an idea.
All right, I've never tried this before. I'm gonna get up a little close, spit in my hand, rub it together, cast Tidal Wave.
Oh, what?
Wow.
That should do it.
That's a big one.
There we go.
Big spell.
As you
that
pull
should
back,
put on
slam your hand
Whoa.
down immediately. You watch as this tiny spark of kind of blue roiling flame just swoops down, and this incredible, this crashing wave of surf out of nowhere hits the ground and washes up over this entire hut. The burning flames immediately are put out across the board, and the partially damaged hut, while drenched in water and some of the interior elements may have been shifted around a bit, you watch as the whole hut kind of shifts slightly off its foundation, but holds firm.
Can I pry up a bit of rotted floorboard and see if there's anything underneath?
I'm going to do guidance on Orem.
Okay, yeah, make an investigation check.
Doi. 19 plus guidance is 20.
Okay. Tearing, kind of looking around the space here as you all kind of inspect, you find one section of the floor that looks like pretty rotted and crumbly. You kind of like pry it open a bit, and you can look beneath. You can see just tangled roots that dig deep beneath the house.
I'm gonna push my upper half down in, and it seems ridiculous, but see if there's anything down there and reach my hands around in it.
Reach your hands down around in it?
Yeah.
Okay. You reach down and kind of glance within, and the roots lead to a tunnel.
Oh no. Do we want to do this?
Yeah.
Want to look around in there?
She probably... Maybe she went under the house?
What if that's a bad idea?
I'll go first. I go first.
Okay,
This is a
I'll
bad
do
idea.
a mass healing word on everybody. It's a big spell, but that's okay. And you'll all heal. Come on, roll good. 6 points.
That's
Very good.
So, Travis.
No.
Sorry. Chetney.
Ah!
You're going down first, you said?
Yeah, I'm going.
You begin to go beneath the boards, moving them aside, and you can see like the roots of the trees in the forest continue downward, and there is a tunnel, almost like the roots kind of spiral downward, just down into the rock. And you can like feel it, and the roots themselves are the same kind of rock material, but mimicking the texture and striations of the wooden material, and it just continues at a downward angle. You go for 30 feet, 60 feet, and it just keeps going down.
I scamper back up. It just kind of keeps going. I wait about 60 feet. The surface doesn't change.
Should we just be quiet and chill about it? Do we want to just go down and try and be quiet?
That
Nice
way
way
we're
to
all
go.
together.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
As you all begin to clamber down this
You touched
root-filled tunnel below. 50 feet. 100 feet. It just seems to like corkscrew and spiral. It's odd because you're moving downward, but the sense of gravity that's been holding you to the surface of this odd plane seems to, I don't say vanish, but seems to pull you towards the wall no matter where you tug at, to the point where you don't feel any fear of falling. You don't feel anything pulling you downward. You just feel comfortable clutching the roots as you go. You continue to climb, and climb. And the darkness begins to give way to a faint bit of gentle, ever so gentle, green light. As you step out, you see sky facing you.
Weird. Blue
Like-
sky?
Like a purplish, faintly obscured starscape almost. Like a night sky with little wisps of purple nebulous cloud in the distance. You see some more of these trees, and then beyond them, maybe about 30 feet from where this tunnel is, a wall, partially crumbled. Beyond that wall, you can see what looks to be the rooftops. And then not far beyond them, a massive, leafless tree with hundreds and hundreds of bare branches looming over this shaded city with a faint bit of green light just drifting out like a mist, filling the city and lighting it from underneath. And that's where we're in tonight's episode.
You rat bastard.
No one.